Hey y'all, Dr. J here. Um, Today there's not any great lessons, no tips, so you disconnect now if you were hoping for some. This is really just me discussing the evolution of writing a book. So if you've ever been interested in a book writing, maybe this will be of value to you. You know, it's interesting. I am writing a book because I'd like to put out into the universe a model that I have created on creating a culture of performance. And Counter to what most people are ever going to agree with, uh, my own research, as well as early research in the field of scientific management, has shown that the leader is not statistically relevant to the performance of the team. Now, I know that's extremely counterintuitive to the world who likes to praise the leader and say it's all about the leader. And don't get me wrong, when you have a great leader, that's awesome. When you have a bad one, it's not, right? Um, And I'll explain this more in my book. The point of this is the focus of my book is about operationalizing the elements which will support a culture of performance. And I was in my focus has been on sales personnel and a sales operations because I am a sales operations expert. I teach a sales training process. I'm a real big believer in, you've got to as a leader, you got to put your energy into making sure your sales engine is driving. However, an engine without an entirely running car isn't going anywhere. So it takes the entire environment to run. And that realization was really driven home to me last night. I was having dinner, had a friend over, and my wife and I were chatting with her, and she is a teacher. And a conversation of my book came up, and my wife pulled out a visual of my model, and I explained the elements of it, which are, I focus at the tactical and the operational level, making the leader less relevant. And the teacher said, well, she was agreeing with everything I was saying. It was really resonating with her. And it made me realize that what I do is actually for the entire organization and not just the sales department. I shouldn't say made me realize, it more made me remember, because I have always just done this. I've always built this into the entire fabric of the orgs that I've run. And so everybody benefited from this environment. And so this conversation last night has made me decide on a change to the name of my book. The name of my book prior to last night was going to be A Sales Operator's Guide to a Culture of Performance. Now it's going to be an operator's guide to a culture of performance. Because if what I'm talking about resonated with a teacher, one of the most challenging jobs on the planet, by the way, don't even get me started. If it resonated with a teacher, it'll resonate with anybody. It'll resonate in any environment. And so it was a very fascinating element. And I guess if there's any lesson for anybody out there writing a book, is that you should always be willing to acknowledge growth, learning, and development. And that as those evolutionary processes occur, to allow your book to evolve with it. Don't be stuck on one idea. Be willing to evolve as you learn more. We should constantly be learning. We should constantly be growing, improving, and evolving. That is something I live my life based on. And so anyways, it was a fascinating reminder last night that we must be willing to rethink and readjust what we think we know as new evidence comes into light. So, if I can think of a million examples of how this is relevant in people's everyday life. Let's just say to anybody writing a book, be willing to evolve, especially the title, as you write your book, because you will find that in so doing, it allows you to probably get to the truer heart of the matter when you uncover new information and roll with it, so to speak. One of my favorite family phrases is "Life's a wave, enjoy the ride." And so grab your board and enjoy the ride. I wish you all the best of luck in 2023. Take care now.